Hello my friends, I'm back and it's Feral Monday. Just a quick reminder, we've already sold through over half of our inventory. Y'all are wild. This just came back into stock on Thursday. I'm so glad y'all love it. But just to want to remind you, this is back in stock and apparently it's going fast. All right, let's get some makeup on. So I want to use this palette. I want to use the purples. I'll use this as a transition. I'll find a way, okay? We will find a way to use most of these colors. Now, the only one that I might not use is the blue because I feel like that needs its own look, but let's swatch it right now. And this is from NYX. And I saw this entire collection at Ulta. I mean, that is pretty amazing, NYX. Amazing. All right, let's get these purples and greens on. Let's get wild. I feel like it's been a long time since we've done an entire white eyeshadow base. And that's what we're gonna do today. So this is Gerard Cosmetics Clean Canvas. Now, I think I wanna do kind of a cut crease. I kind of woke up and was in the mood. So I'm not gonna worry as much about my lid space. If it gets on the lid space, that's okay. But let's not just go all the way. Let's not just take it all the way on the lid because I do know I will eventually clean that up. Look how nice and pigmented this is. And don't be afraid of white eyeshadow base because it completely gets covered and or blended away, like through here in a little while. That will get blended away, but I'm not sure how far I want to take the eyeshadow over. And if you're new here, the reason we're going to start with the white eyeshadow base, it's going to help everything show up as true here as it is in the pan. Our undertones and skin tones can kind of change the eyeshadow. So by using a base that is just a blank slate, we're going to get a lot more impact and truer color. And I'm just kind of pushing that into my brow. And if my eyebrows look different or my face looks tighter, there has been nothing done but a super tight bun. Okay, let's just leave this to the side. We might come back later, use this as our base, or we might do clear. I'm not sure, but we're gonna start on our crease. Now, whenever I do a cut crease, one of the ways, I do it two ways. It depends on the depth that I'm after. So if I'm wanting a whole lot of depth, I'm gonna actually start with the darkest shade. And now this is a sequin, which is really, really cool. And what a sequin shadow is a matte shadow. Oh my gosh, it has so much sparkle. It's gonna be a matte base, but you're gonna see that sparkle kind of floating in there, but it's not a shimmer. So it still works beautifully as a crease color. However, I use shimmer in my crease. That's just all subjective. Makeup is art. So let's grab this here, and I'm grabbing it on an E27. I'm gonna tilt my head back and I'm gonna start to press this into that white base. Just take your time, press it in. And anytime we're using a dark shadow, like this black shadow that I was saying, like the black shadow that we're using right now, I'm gonna use a smaller brush. That way we have more control. Fallout is going to be completely normal at this stage. I'm not sure why we got so afraid of fallout, because you're going to get fallout when you're doing packing motions, and those packing motions build the eyeshadow to its most intense state. See that? That looks so nice. Okay, let's go ahead. I'm going to relax my eye because I don't want the black to come out too much. That's going to be perfect. Terrifying, right? Well, that's the whole point. We're using a Beetlejuice palette. No. Anytime you do a look that is more on the artistic side, I want you to just take all of that fear and just push it aside, because these types of looks take a whole lot of scary before we get to the good part. Sometimes I feel like collabs aren't always the top quality, but NYX, this black eyeshadow is pretty awesome. This is really, really good. I'm really excited to use the rest of the palette. Now we have to transition our eyeshadow. So what we're gonna do now is I'm gonna grab this shade, same brush. Now I did wipe this off, and we're gonna start to transition the black. Oh, that is so nice and pigmented. NYX, thank you. Beautiful. And notice that I'm pushing into the black, okay? We don't need all of that black showing. You kind of want it to melt into one another, and that goes for any kind of cut crease. And no matter how dark you want to do your cut crease, this is kind of ideal. But also notice that I'm not transitioning this second shade already. That's gonna need a little bit more finesse. So just work on kind of acquainting the two colors. It's a lot less scary this way, especially using that small brush. I know, still horrifying. Let's kind of wipe this off just a little bit. We're gonna add a little bit more depth again with the black. Just a little bit. I didn't grab quite as much as I grabbed before. And just tap that just to kind of add the depth. And this kind of makes sure that the black is black and then it's melted into the transition. And then we're about to start that next transition. Perfect. So now we're gonna start our, did you hear that? The pirate's coming back. We are going to start our softer transition. So you'll notice that this brush is little, but it's also a little bit dense. So what we get is obviously we get more pigment. We don't want that now. As we start to softly transition towards the brow, we want less pigment. So we're gonna pick a little fluffier brush. We're also gonna pick the E28 because it's flatter. So we're gonna be able to lay down product, but also a nice little tap in the top part here, not the very top, but kind of the side here is gonna give us a really, really nice even transition. So we're still gonna use this same shade. Just pick up a little bit. Don't be afraid to pick up too little. Okay, and I'm gonna start here. And it's kind of just reacquainting itself with that eyeshadow that's at the top anyways. See that already softening? So nice. Pick up a tiny little amount. I always say it's better to build than it is to apply too much all at once, panic, overblend, and then we lose that smooth transition. I say the same thing with blush too. Always build. Even with foundation, with everything. When we automatically start out with too much of something, we tend to want to panic, and then even the delicate motions that we need, even with foundation, it kind of all goes out the window, and then we're panicking and we're blending for our makeup lives, and it just turns to complete chaos. So I picked up more. We're gonna soften this some more. It's really fun to watch it, huh? I love it. It's so soothing to me. Pick up a little bit more. Tap, tap, tap. All right, now swipe this off again. And I know this seems kind of like, why are you even showing this? But wiping off your brushes in between is so important. And it's something, it's a really good habit to get into. Because if I had just went from there, forgot, and then not wiped it off, I don't want that for you. I've done that. That is hard to fix, but it can be done. Let's load that brush up, and then I'm gonna focus the white right here. Nice. And then a little over that way, and then a little over that way. And then very quickly, I'm gonna wipe my brush off back into this color. And let's just kind of transition right there. There we go, good to go. So sorry for the last slide. I was trying to move it and then it uploaded. Please forgive me. I hope that you can see what I'm doing. So we have our initial transition, our initial crease. Are you ready for some of this to make sense? It's not gonna all make sense yet. No. Most of it is. This is my favorite, micellar water. I do feel that not all micellar waters are equal, and this one is on another level, because this one never continues to break down makeup later. Once it's dry, it's dry. I can clean up, fix things, and it's just really good. I love it. It's my, I love it. And then this brush is only $10 right now. So if you wanna grab the C32 in this, nice little spicy brush haul. The difference already. So every once in a while, I'm gonna wipe my brush off on Sheila, and then I pick up more micellar water, and then I just keep trucking here. This is a really satisfying part, so I'm just gonna let this run. I might not yap as much, or I might. Nah, I'm out of words. This is just fun to watch. More micellar water. And then before I completely perfect it, I'll go and do this first. Look at that difference, isn't that fun? Now we need a fluffier brush because we don't want to take that same amount away. We want to fade. So we're going to take an E29, which is the fluffiest of our eye brushes. And I'm just going to do a nice little tappy tap. And then I can just wipe some on 𝗕𝗲. There's still enough micellar water here to kind of fade. And then if you still have a little bit here, that's going to be okay because we're going to put foundation there. So don't be too afraid of that. Kind of going to do the same thing over here. And then remember, we still need to kind of fade and feather with the foundation as well. This is just kind of an initial fade. Now we're going to take the matte purple and we're just going to place it, I don't know where we're going to place it. Maybe here, this looks fine. It's only on the tip of the brush. And we did the E29 for this. So we're using a very small amount. It's diffusing. I'm still using my tapping motions. That's pretty. And then let's put some here. Sure, why not? We have fun here. Yeah, that's a different way to use it. And then let it lightly connect through here. Let me darken that one a little bit more. I'm always very mindful of how much I'm picking up. And then connect. Now we're gonna do half green, half purple. This is all nice and dry now. I'll use a clear base, and the reason I want to use this one because it's just extra juicy. It's the only way I can describe it. And these types of shimmers, I don't mind if my skin tone peeks through a little bit. Oh, look how cool that looks. That, and then how this white goes up. Isn't that fun? So fun. So I'm going to use my milk primer over here because the way that this enhances shimmers is my favorite. I'm gonna make sure I get a little bit more here. And then I'll use another brush to smooth it out. C31. Don't worry. The grass is getting mowed. By the way, when I was in LA last week, they were having a heat wave, which still isn't technically a heat wave. I'm used to extreme heat with humidity. So it was hot, don't get me wrong, but why I'm saying that is because when we got home, the weather here is exactly what you normally get in California. It has been absolutely breathtakingly beautiful where I live, about an hour and a half south of Houston. So I'm not gonna lie, y'all, I had a hard time coming inside and sitting inside. I'm going to go directly back outside once I'm finished with this because it's so pretty and we don't get this a lot here. Let's do this. We're gonna grab this shade. I always try to use all of the colors in palettes. It's kind of like myself challenging myself. Okay, and that's gonna go, oh, that's so pretty. Through here, I'm gonna bring it over this way a little bit. Yep, this look is definitely a Feral Monday look. That's so pretty, that is so shimmery. Delightful. Now I'm leaving this space for the silver. Now time for the purple. And I'm just gonna wipe off that same brush. Get a little wipe on 𝗕𝗲. Good to go. Let's go into the purple. So excited for this eye look. Ooh, pigmented. Ooh, I like this because it's gonna feather over really nicely. I kind of want to go at an angle though. And what I mean at an angle like that, see? Whee! so pretty. So I just want to do a little bit of depth at the lash line. I don't want to do a wing liner, so I'm just going to take that Milk eyeshadow base that I already tagged, and then I'm going to just put a little bit here. Watch this. E26. And I'm not going to do a wing. I like the idea of it not being a wing. Just make sure it's nice and even. I'm going to wipe off that excess that's there, and then I'm just going to grab the black with the sparkles again. And then just kind of push that in there. You can take it all the way over because I will put on a falsie, so it'll just add depth there, but I don't need it to be perfect wing liner. It can be a little bit more smudgy, a little bit more messy. Nice. A little baby wing snuck up on me here. It's because I got so much lid space from this tight bun. It was just so easy. Just a little baby one. Well, baby for me. But let's put on our lashes. I already have these nice and trimmed. And I also wanted to do a lash that wasn't a cat eye, that more cat eye shape. These are a little bit more rounded. This is Lily Lashes. And these are Dream Chaser lashes. But let me warm them up here on the back of my hand, because they're body heat activated. Perfect. All right, let's just pop these on really quickly. It's kind of what they do. And then you just let them sit there. Just give it 10 seconds. I let them kind of adapt a little bit. Feels about right. This one's been on a little bit longer. We can start to shape it. Get yourself some lash tweezers. There you go. Nice. Now we can hop over here. Warm up, and they're on. So I'm not going to do my silver inner corner until I get my complexion on, but I thought that we could try out, let's just try it out. Let's do one side, the new One Size foundation. I was sent 3 shades. I'm just going to test out 2 to see which one I like better, and then we'll test out the Huda on one side just to kind of take a look. Oh, this has niacinamide in it. Interesting. I like that. I like niacinamide. Some people are finding out recently that they're a little bit more sensitive to it. Does the One Size, I almost feel like the One Size might not have as much skincare in it because it's supposed to be a full coverage, full beat foundation. And I kind of want to go see that because that kind of proves a lot of my theories. All right, this is cool. So there's skincare, but it's skincare that's going to continue longevity. So none of this is like an extreme hydration. So it's not like niacinamide. It's not like hyaluronic acid. These are, I like this. This is all a plus for super long wear full coverage foundation. So I really think that this is an interesting formula. This isn't something that we're seeing all the time, but listen, we're going to have to want a full coverage foundation if this is what we're picking up. Now, I do think that these might be a little too light for me, but we will see. I also think the Huda one's going to be too light, but we will see. But I like this. And again, this is for the, obviously for the One Size. All right, let's swatch these two. I did have issues with the pump. Maybe it's better today. There it is. It is. That was probably my fault. We're all good. Issues are controlled. But let's see where they dry down. So I'm going to swatch that on that side, and then let me tell you the shade. That one is light 15R. So the undertone's really delightful. If I was Winter Rose, I can already tell that this one's going to be a hair to yellow. Yeah, this one is kind of giving me issues. Come on. All right, we don't have time. We got things to do. I'll just grab some. I don't think that this is going to be my shade anyway, so that one's going to be too warm. But let's see where they go when they dry down. Dry down is not the same as oxidizing, so don't be worried about that. Dry down is just where all of that moisture evaporates and we're left with the pigment, the pigment that we're after anyways. So don't be afraid of that. Now, let's see which one matches me better in the Huda, and then we'll just do one side. And then I'll probably do that with a wear test. We'll see what goes on. This one is Custard 220N. That one's going to be too warm, too yellow for me. And whenever I'm trying to match, I will look for an area, say right here, how there's no redness. I'm trying to match that, and you'll see that there's no yellow there. Just find an area from here down or even through here to match that doesn't have things that we aren't wanting. For me, I don't want the redness, so that's just a good idea. And then also let your foundation dry down. And then this is the shade Macaroon 230 in. We'll see where they dry. This one has more pink. And so, well, it's a little bit just more neutral. It's kind of in between, but this one is going to be too warm. So I think no matter what, we're going to use this shade and that shade. So I thought it was macaron, but it's actually macaroon. There's a difference. And let me tell you, if somebody knows the difference between a delicious macaroon, I just read it wrong. And macarons are the little French cookies. I don't have that beautiful French accent, but I can definitely say macaroon, and those are usually the coconut ones. I love those. All right, let's do the one size on this side. And this isn't the official end-all wear test, nothing like that. I'm just doing a little first impression here with y'all. We'll check it out. Ooh, she's silky smooth. That's beautiful. Way too light for me right now. I don't know what's been going on. I'm wearing my SPF. Except for maybe in the morning when I go outside and I take a look around. But I gotta whisper that because y'all will get mad at me. Don't yell at me. Be nice to me. Ooh. So we talked about this last week. Don't be afraid of a full coverage foundation, especially these newer formulas. They're delightful, and then we don't have to build, because sometimes when we have to build and build and build, like the Patrick Ta, which is a light coverage foundation, I like it. I wore it while I was gone. That's not what I'm saying. But sometimes when we have to continue to build and build and build to get to where we want to be, it gets a little uncomfortable when you could have just done it with the first pass. And a full coverage foundation is really a lot of the time just pure pigment, so it's really lightweight. So don't be afraid of them. Okay, this looks so blurred and beautiful. I really like it. Let's build it just a hair right here. Just a hair. And it's so thin. Beautiful. Yep, this is a formula I would reach for, but I'm gonna go purchase a darker shade. But I'll keep this one for sure because I will be this shade soon enough. So I never have any issues or thoughts on packaging really. I just never do. I like this little squirt bottle. I think it's nice. Now let's go ahead and do this side. I'm going to switch my brush. The color's going to be a little bit off. We need to go darker in this one too, but we'll be able to see what's going on. Let me make sure it's a little bit smoother. And let me put some on my forehead. I didn't look at the coverage. Does it say what the coverage is on this? Oh, made in Italy. Where was this one made? Sound effects. This one is made in the USA. Okay. We like that. We like both of that. All right, let's go. C42. Actually, let me start this so let me restart and do another slide so we can watch it blend. I did switch my C42. We're going to the clean one now. This one's not as much coverage. I need to go look up and see what the coverage is. This is, I love it already. Very pretty. I'm gonna let y'all see which one y'all like better. We'll look at it when I'm done with back camera. Bronzer will help make everything less terrifying. Oh, this one dries down, which I do like as well. That means that we could use less powder. This one dries down too, but I feel like this one's already drying down a little faster. Pretty. I'm gonna build it just a hair more here, like I did it on the other side. I like both. I can definitely tell that they're both, one's a little bit more neutral, one's a little bit more red, pink. But other than that, Both are having a nice time on my face. They both feel completely weightless, doesn't feel heavy. I'm into it. And I never want y'all to feel pressure to buy anything. Even if I'm doing an ad for something, we feel no pressure. And listen, if you already have a foundation that you're enjoying, we're not here to buy things. We're here to admire if we need to admire. And then if we'd like to add to our collection, we add to our collection. And I just kind of walk you through the formulas. And I just never want you to come here and feel pressure to buy things. That's not what we do. And even if you just want to learn, kind of go, oh, wow, this full coverage doesn't have hyaluronic acid in it, because sometimes that can be a little too wet and breaks down. So maybe you could just learn. We're learning together. So whenever I have redness, more redness than usual, this is a really good tip. I'm going to take a red blush. Don't go nowhere. Stay there. Here, I got it. I can't show it to you. It's a secret. Okay, so, but it's just a liquid red blush. I'm going to show you the blush. I just can't show you what it's in. Okay. See that? That's nice. It's a little scary. We can be scared together. We can hold hands. It's okay. And I'm just going to take a fluffier brush. The reason I want fluff is because I don't want a ton of this. In fact, I'm going to even this out a little bit more with my finger. Look at that. Okay, still scary. But I need to add redness to the perimeter of my face before I add bronzer. It's going to be a game changer. Not only that, it's going to darken the perimeter. We have fun over here. Look at that already. Now bronzer's still going here. Now we're not leaving it like this. This is just laying down a red base and a darken. Then I'm going to do my Kiko Milano bronzer because it's going to be more pigmented than my other ones. And I want it to all melt together. And I'm also doing this while everything's still wet. And I don't even have concealer on yet, so this is going to help it really mesh together in a second. And I also do it while it's wet. That way I can take my foundation brush. This one, yep, this one is the right one for this side. I have it laid out so I don't lose track. And now look at that match. So much better. This is a reminder that you really can fix your shade. You really and truly can. As fun as it is to try all of these new formulas, we can probably make what we already have work. I forgot to tag my Kiko Milano bronzer, but I'm pretty sure you can get this particular shade on the Ulta website. It's not in stores, but it is on their website. There we go, and then we'll just bronze up the nose a little bit. Now we need concealer. I'm gonna do a little touch of my Jouer concealer. I love this one. It's more full coverage. And I'm not gonna put it anywhere else because the foundation is doing enough on each side. C32, right away. There it is, come back here. Back in stock, y'all. And the difference between this one and the one that's in the travel set is this one's gonna be our artistry fiber, and then it's also much longer. And I made the brush handles longer because, believe it or not, you just get this even flow when the handles are really long like this, especially when you're working with things that you do want a little bit more precision with. It really does make a difference. Melt it into that. Let's try out the Makeup Forever. This is their pink powder. It's not, listen, there's a difference. I would still consider this a pink powder because the original formula of the Givenchy isn't as wildly pink. This is the original formula. So it's not as wildly pink as, say, the One Size, but I feel like the One Size, since it has so much pink, it can work for more skin tones. But you can see that this one is still a bit more of a beigey pink, and then this one's more of a white pink. So again, I think that this, not having that intense white base, could go a little further. Shut that. Careful, careful. I'm trying to think if I should, before I said if I should put on my blush. I think I should put on my blush. Look how cool this shade is. It's like a shimmery orange. That's blush, sorry, but you can see that. That's beautiful. I don't know what I want to do. Maybe I want to do like maybe a baby drape. I can't decide. I'm too excited. Okay, so I'm gonna do a wispity wisp of this, and I'm using a really fluffy brush. And let's just place a little bit here. Stamp, 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 stamp. If it's not looking like anything, it's because I'm scared of it. Okay, we gotta be scared of our pigment. Can't get too wild all at once. Yep, but I don't want to cover that up because I love that kind of feather thing. So I'm slowly building this up. This brush is a prototype. Perfect, there we go. All right, that's fine. And then we wanted the fluffier brush, so it's just more diffused. Oh, that's a party. That's the makeup party I wanted to go to right there. And then I'm gonna grab this shade, the more purple, and then we'll bring it down this way. And I want to do this before I set so I get the most out of the color, because that wet base is gonna grab it. Fun. I mean, it is Feral Monday. Now, back to this. Oh my gosh, this is so pretty to me. This is just giving, let's go to Halloween looks. I love Halloween looks. We have fun around here. Now we can just go ahead and set with that Makeup Forever powder. I just got a little ahead of myself, but I wanted to transition it. Sometimes doing your blush first and then setting can really, really airbrush the blush. Surprised I didn't have a tongue twister on that one. It almost got me. I felt it in there. But isn't that nice? Just kind of do a little final blend with your puff. Very pretty. To me. I know some of you are looking at this and just going, please gosh, go wash your face, you look a mess. But to me, it's just a little painting. And this is very relaxing to me. But I also want to kind of brighten even more, so we're gonna grab our Kosas. Look at this dent I've already done. I've had it for a while though. I've had this for a long time. So pink is going to brighten even further. And this is a brighter pink, obviously you can see, than the Makeup Forever one. But these are so smooth. They were so smart to do that baked formula. And then I'm gonna let it sit, and then it's gonna further brighten. And this is something I teach y'all all the time. Press in, even though that's a mini bake, press it in, don't dust it off. Now look at that brightness. And I swear it even looks smoother on this side. I'm telling you, this stuff right here, it's pretty fancy, okay? It's fancy pants. I love this so much. It's so good. And it's so smoothing. And yes, it's brightening, but you could even apply it with a brush like this. You'd still get brightness, but you wouldn't get the intense brightness. So it does let you kind of dial in your brightness. I feel like this Stila liner in the shade Plumful is going to be perfect. Oh, these glide so much better. B27. And then we can smudge this. They kind of have the same playtime as a, oh my gosh, that's perfect. But as a shadow stick now, but with better wear time. I think I want to do it on my waterline too. The ruckus that ruckus around here. Oof, this color, luscious. Now just imagine this plum underneath here without all the wild eye makeup. Delightful. Imagine that with just your everyday kind of champagne lid. What a pretty color. It's Feral Monday though. I feel like we should do a plum look at some point this week too, because I kind of want to do this waterline again, but with the colors I mentioned. I feel like that's so fall. This is my Maybelline Firework Mascara. I like how bendy the wand is. By the way, this is like the second or third, I can't remember, But I like how bendy the wand is. This, if I was to touch it, it bends so easily. That means it's not too stiff and it's a lot more forgiving and you don't mess up as much. You would think that the bend would be too bouncy, but it's not. It's more forgiving. Now what should we do for the lip? I'm excited. I really can't tell the difference in the foundation now. To be honest, I'm not really just oohing and ahhing over either formula. Not that I always want to be really careful with my words because I would never want anything negative. But what I'm saying is I was okay with the formulas that I already had before. This doesn't feel like, oh my goodness, this is so different. So that could be a good thing, but we'll look at it with back camera. We're gonna look at it with back camera. But right now, just looking at it, I don't feel like I'm, oh my goodness, wow. Should we do this? I think we should do this. I can't decide if I want to do this or this. Actually, I think we should do both because we could still use this as a base. And the way that this kind of matches these undertones here, this is a very blue, purpley pink. It's delightful. So I think we will start with a kind of not too brown. Where's that one? Is it this one? The I wouldn't? No, I want something. Where's the other one? I'm ahead of myself, but you don't mind. We're having fun together. Extra thigh, okay? I want this Fenty Beauty one because it's a little bit more cool toned. Okay, it doesn't have to be perfect. Let's keep tracking. Now let's do our MAC lipstick. This is Hot Gossip. See how perfect? So pretty. And then we'll grab our lip liner again. And we'll just do a little bit more shading and blending. And then I grab my C30 and I'll just grab powder foundation. Just make sure you grab one that's really close to your skin tone. You don't want to highlight around there, so you want to make sure that it matches. And then on a C30, tidy that up. That was my elbow, but I am okay. There we go. I do feel like this lip is delightful. This is one of my new favorite lip combos. And then let's just top it with a little bit of this. I had this, I lost it, and then I bought it. I didn't want to put too much, but it is going to add. It's kind of in the same tone family. Perfect. It's gonna add that glossy touch. I think we'll do a little bit of highlight. Let's give this a nice shake. This is the Cover FX. Oof, love it. Love a dropper that's working. Shade Blossom for this one. This is the Custom Enhancer Drops. And then I'm going to flatten that out on my hand. These are so slept on. They're so slept on. And they usually have a really nice sale too. So I'm gonna pick it up on a C40 because I actually like to use this one for highlighter as well. Look at that, it just doesn't add a bunch of texture, it's just a really nice glow. It's kind of like a blush topper too. Oh, that's pretty. Fun. Now I'm going to show you with back camera, but it's going to be flipped. So remember that. I will remind you and I'll label it, but I just want you to know. Remember, this is front camera. I'm gonna switch it around so we can see it really nice and in HD so you can look at the difference in the foundation. I have to hold my phone. I broke my phone stand while I was traveling. So if you're wondering about the extended arm. Okay, this is the one size on this side. And then here is the Huda on this side. Do we see a difference? Does it look better than my normal foundations that I already have? take a good gander, y'all. Now, I like both, but again, maybe I've seen too much. I guess maybe I'm overwhelmed. I don't feel like either one is something I just want to shout from the rooftops, so. And I still want to get my perfect shade in the Patrick Ta, but the one thing about Patrick Ta is that it's labeled a medium coverage when that is one step up from a skin tint. That is light coverage. So, still like my double wear. I love Estee Lauder double wear. All right, my friends, I love you so much. It feels so good to be home. I'm looking forward to tomorrow's tutorial. I don't know what we're gonna do, but we're not gonna do something this fun, I promise. All right, let me go get some more shots, and then I will always save this to my highlights. And just know that I love you so much, and thank you for hanging out with me. Thank you for sharing this passion of makeup and chatting with me about makeup and just keeping this space that we have so much fun, so peaceful, and so colorful. I love you with all of my heart, and I'm definitely gonna post tonight, so I'll see you in the comments there.